Hello and welcome to the Slingshot channel, Needle Revolver Edition. Boah. Whoa. Alright, the time has come. We received the first 5 samples for the German authorities of the SixNeedler. Let me show you its features. So, first of all, what is the SixNeedler? The SixNeedler is an inexpensive CO2 revolver. Actually, it's more like a pepper box, if you know what that is. This means there is no barrel. The drum actually is the barrel. It's actually 6 barrels in one. It is also a break-open gun. So you can see here we have the barrel. You can exchange it very quickly because you can simply remove it and then put it in, so you can have a loaded extra one. And it does shoot blowgun darts instead of pellets or bullets. So what is this? This is the SixNeedler revolver. It's actually a CO2 revolver, or better, a CO2 pepper box revolver. Because as you see, just like in the original pepper box guns, there is no barrel. The drum is the barrel. And you can actually open it's a break top, so you can open the gun like this, and then you can see the drum. And you know, it's like actually for 6 of them, that's why it's the SixNeedler. And you can exchange it, so you can keep another loaded drum with you. And you load it with these darts here. These are actually blowgun darts in a little different version, because those are, other than the blowgun darts, this is hardened steel wire. So it doesn't easily bend. It's more like a spring wire. And this is the secret why this is so dangerous. See, if you want to make a CO2 gun lethal, then you need different projectiles, since you're not getting a lot of energy out of CO2. So, and this is the trick of this. This is so thin and so hard that it penetrates anything. It just goes through everything. It's just incredible how high the penetration power of these are at the low energy that you can get with a short barrel CO2 gun. And of course, you could just simply load these darts in, just like so, just like you would load a bullet into a gun. Now, this will be really inexpensive. It will start just for the naked gun at 99 euros in Europe. And of course, there is also plastic, but all the important parts are actually metal, steel and aluminum. And also, even though it's plastic, parts of it is plastic, it doesn't look and it doesn't feel like plastic. This looks like a really high-end gun, and everything is great. The timing is great. It's actually a double and single action revolver, so you can go, don't get excited, you can go single action or double action both. And yeah, it also has this wheel here, and this is to actually pierce the cartridge. So you store it with an unpierced cartridge, so you can be safe that no pressure loss is going to happen if you keep this gun under pressure for months. It could happen, let's see, with CO2. So you just open it and you just put in the CO2 cartridge, and you actually do this like so. Here you got access to it. So very simple. And you don't tighten the screw all the way. You put it in and just carefully tighten it. And then when it's time for an emergency situation, then you would tighten it. And it's better than the push thing here because it's silent. You can do this a lot more silent than hammering on the gun. And second, it's also possible to slowly release the pressure. So what if you practiced with this thing like a few weeks ago, and now you don't know how many shots you still have in the cartridge, so you decide to throw it away and put in a fresh one, so you can slowly release the pressure without damaging the O-rings inside of the thing. So I like this much more. Yeah, other than that, you have a Picatinny rail on top here, but you don't really need it because you got great iron sights, so this is really practical. I really like that. And it actually, the handle looks a little bulky. That's always the case with the CO2 revolvers because there's a cartridge inside here. But it actually feels really good in the hand. And it has this aggressive angle of the revolver that I really dig, because it just feels natural to hold it that way. So, an inexpensive CO2 gun. How dangerous is it? We'll find out. So, of course, we have our trusted ballistic gelatin for that purpose. And of course, I put the thick skin in front of this here again. So this is like a window cleaning leather. And then also it will get a t-shirt. Yeah, it's a dirty t-shirt. It's been in my workshop for some time. There's even a little bit of my blood on it, I guess. And we put it in front to simulate a little bit of a clothing. And then we'll see how well the darts penetrate. So before we actually go and test the power of this, I want to make sure that there's a fresh CO2 cartridge in there. So I can show you how to do that. So you slowly release this. You can hear it. That was it. Cartridge here rausholen. Zack. So this is exactly how I would store the revolver. This means there's no pressure in it. The CO2 cartridge is not yet pierced. If I want to pierce it, done. Done. So that's typical home defense distance. Let's see. So as you can see, one of the needles penetrated completely and actually kicked off the little funnel, and all the others also penetrated deeply. They went all the way through the t-shirt and the leather and into the gelatin. That's very powerful. If you do that with a pellet gun, you're not going to get lots of penetration. Okay, so now we're going to do a distance accuracy test. So we're going to shoot like from the maximum distance that my workshop allows, is probably 8 meters or so. And we're taking the precision darts that actually have a second funnel right in the front. And this means that they're well centered in the bores of the drum. So I can put those in, and then you will later on see that they are actually completely straight, and this definitely increases accuracy. So if you look closely into the muzzle, you hopefully can see that the tips of the needles are nicely centered. Great for accuracy. Right. Not that bad, right? So can you reuse the darts? Yes, as you can see, they're all still straight because they're hardened. How fast can you shoot with it? Pretty fast. So the advantage is that these have no recoil, so it's super easy to fire multiple shots quickly in quick succession. So you can compare the penetration. I'm not going to shoot at the same board with the adder, and that's a 130-pound bowling set. And this generates about 35 joule, so it's about 5 times more energy than these darts. But of course, the arrows are a lot thicker. All right. Now, of course, the adder bolt penetrated deeper, caused more damage too. But it is still very impressive, I think, how much damage these really weak CO2-powered little blowgun darts do. Yeah. Okay, the adder bolt completely penetrated, pokes out here, but the little bolts from the 7.5 joule CO2 gun, almost the same. Not bad. Let's do the point blank comparison. Whoa! So what you saw is that on this close distance, it was so powerful that it actually kind of popped off the funnels here, and then it went all the way into the ballistic gelatin, the entire bolt. So this is just the 7.5 joule Germany legal version. Of course, the export version for like the US or no, I think the UK also needs 7.5 joule, 5.5 foot-pounds. But in the US, of course, it will be unrestricted, and then it will be more powerful. Then we'll probably see the same penetration of this little thing than we have with the adder crossbow. When you introduce a new product into an existing market, of course, you need a benchmark. So we are using the HDR50 from Umarex as such a benchmark. Now this one, of course, is very comparable in size and also has a Picatinny top rail like this one. But of course, it's very different shape, but very comparable size and weight. Well, this one shoots rubber balls in 50 caliber, and this one shoots 9mm steel darts. So let's compare the effectiveness by shooting this one against the same target that we used for the SixNeedler as well. All right, first the plywood board, and I'm going to shoot at it at an angle so that I hopefully won't be hit by one of the ricochets. All right. So as you probably saw, we just got ricochets, and even if I would bring this up to, I don't know what it can do, 12, 13 joule, there wouldn't be any difference. So next the ballistic gel block, of course, with the leather and the t-shirt. Oops, it hit me. Yeah, you can see a small dent. All right, now we have a coconut, and I think you can guess what this means. So of course there isn't any penetration, they just bounce around like crazy. And now as a comparison, the SixNeedler against the coconut. Whoa. So this one here, I shot it in at an angle, so it actually bent from its own force and weight, because it sticks really hard in this coconut. Really, really hard. But this one here went in all the way straight, so you can see both sides of the coconut have been penetrated. Wow. So I think the comparison came pretty clear. I mean, 7.5 joule, 7.5 joule, no penetration, unbelievable penetration. I actually don't want to be in the shoes of the Humarex sales manager. Poor guys. Of course, people ask me what's the maximum distance of this. Well, this is a home defense weapon, and home defense is like limited to, I think, 8 to 10 meters. If you go beyond that, it's very hard to say that you actually have a case of self-defense. But of course we still want to know, because we're just curious people, and therefore I put a wooden box that has about the size of a man, like in width and height, and I put it up there, and I'm going to try, and this is 30 meters distance. Roughly, I think, 33 yards. I hit it pretty good. So it's pretty decent, I think. Boing, boing. They stick in hard. Like the rubber balls from the HDR50, I think would simply have bounced off. Will there be a larger version of this too? Yes, we have the street sweeper, also made for the big 62 caliber blowgun darts, like from the Cold Steel Big Bore, and therefore it needs a long barrel. It's actually a replica of a shotgun, a 12 gauge shotgun that was developed in Africa, I think in the 70s. And it has a folding stock. It will have a Picatinny rail on top, of course, also. This is still a non-functional sample, but what happens is that every time you press the trigger, the entire barrel just does another step for you. So if you fire, each one would be a shot, then it feels like it's a semi-auto gun. But it isn't, of course. So this is, of course, already prepared for taking either these or the larger 88 gram CO2 cartridges. And you can even get an adapter to connect a paintball compressed air bottle to it instead of this. So you can refill if you want to. So this model then, of course, shoots like the big stun darts here. Those are pretty powerful. Or the small hunting broadheads, or the large hunting broadheads. And those are really super dangerous. I think there was a guy who killed a bear with one of these, with a blowgun. Now, of course, with the CO2 gun, you have much more power. So when will this be available? I guess maybe in early summer, because we now need time for documentation, and the German authorities have to give an okay. Simultaneously, we will also start production, and then we have sea transportation from China. So I guess this will be a product for the summer 2025. Will there be holsters for it? I guess. In Germany it's not so required, because in Germany you can own this and defend your home with it, but you cannot carry it without a permit that nobody ever gets. So in Germany it's home defense only. In the US, why not also for self-defense on the road if for some reason you don't want to use a firearm. The SixNeedler. I think this will be the hot product of the year 2025. Or what do you think? Let me know in the comments. In any case, I hope you like this, because that's it for today. Thanks, and bye-bye.